Mula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, government begins auction of 4G spectrum, a new era for mobile communication. Nandi River diversion plans include a new 30-kilometre canal running to Wailolo Beach. And road accident confirmed as cause of death for missing duo. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and you're watching FBC News. More than half the 4G spectrum lots on auction today have been awarded to the highest bidders. As Chanel Sivan reports, only 8 lots remain for bidding throughout this week.
It was a hectic morning for representatives from Vodafone Fiji, Digicel and Telecom Fiji. The bidding took place this morning at the Department of Communications in Suva.
I think we went into the spectrum bid knowing full well what our requirements were. And accordingly we had placed our bid. At the end of the process, in fact, we've been able to exit the bid quite early because we've been able to secure what we, the spectrum that we were after.
Digicel Fiji, which bid for the most lots, has secured 3 so far and will be bidding again tomorrow.
I'm very happy that Digicel has managed to secure 15 megahertz at the 700 band, and I think that just goes to reflect the investment that Digicel is continuing to make into Fiji and to also ensure that our customers get the best service.
Telecom Fiji acting CEO Ivan Fong says they are pleased with the 3 lots secured and will use them to supplement broadband services for Connect Fiji. 4G technology allows the companies to bring a new technology, expanding mobile coverage and offer affordable internet. One of the biggest advantages of the 4G technology is accessing high-speed internet, faster downloads, video calling and video streaming, by the use of high-end mobile devices, of course. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
Planning the diversion of the Nandi River is expected to start before December this year. A channel will divert floodwaters from Saunaka to Wailolo Beach. Christopher Chand reports.
Experts from Japan and local authorities today visited the spot where a shortcut will be created for the Nandi River.
And they want to start as soon as possible. Even before December, they have said that we should start before December. And their work will be more on a planning side, and which will take few years, but then definitely that they are going ahead with this cut-off channel.
This project was first initiated in 1996 to address flooding. Since then, Nandi has been hit by numerous floods, the cost of damages running in the millions. A channel running 37 kilometers is the answer to Nandi's constant flooding problems.
I can say that it's going to bring a lot of relief to the Nandi people. And flooding, we don't know what is the extent of rainfall, but this cut-off channel is going to take a bulk of the water on the other side. So obviously the level of, even if there is flood, then the level of water would be much less than what it was in the last flooding.
The $300 million from Japan includes compensation. Houses will have to be removed to make way for the canal, and infrastructure will also have to be dug up.
We have now come to this stage where the person in charge in the Ministry of Pacific Affairs in Japan is here to carry out a final inspection of the routes. And what appeared to me that they are very pleased.
It's taken more than a decade to get the project started. The next 3 years will see further studies carried out before the actual diversion begins in 2016.
And Chris now joins us live from Nandi with more details.
Thanks, Jackie. I was looking at some artist impressions of diversion, and it's pretty much going to look like an artificial river, bigger than the Nandi River itself. It will begin near Saunaka village and run underneath the Queen's Highway near McDonald's, heading for Wailolo Beach. The depth of the diversion channel hasn't been confirmed, but we can reveal that it will only kick in when water levels in the Nandi River reach critical and risk flooding in Nandi. It will be a pretty lengthy project from the looks of it, Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Christopher. The two people whose bodies were recovered from a car in Navua died of injuries consistent with the road accident. This was confirmed by pathologists who today carried out post-mortem examinations on the bodies of Krishnaswamy Naidu and Ella Blakelock. Naidu and his employee were reported missing a month ago after a business trip to Lautoka. Their bodies were found inside Naidu's car in a creek at Vakambalea, Navua on Friday. Police said they are trying to determine the timeline of events that led to the accident. Naidu's funeral will be held at Ndreketi in Lautoka tomorrow, while relatives of Blakelock are arranging her funeral as well. Fiji's reputation as the hub of the Pacific continues to grow, with another neighbour looking at trade opportunities. Kiribati currently buys most of its goods from Australia and New Zealand, but as Roland Karoy reports, Fiji could soon become its main trading partner.
Kiribati has for a long time looked to the big brothers of the Pacific for trade, but with Fiji's influence in the region, there's potential for a switch.
Fiji manufactures and produces much of what we order from Asia and Australia, New Zealand. We believe that there is greater merit in terms of saving costs and affordability in prices to our people.
According to Reteta Ramon, trade between Fiji and Kiribati could begin much quicker than anticipated.
So have there been talks around this trading with Fiji?
Yes, in fact, Fiji had offered there is a trade between Fiji and Tuvalu, through Rotuma. Kiribati is also included in that.
Ramon says Fiji has been very supportive towards Kiribati as it struggles with the adverse effects of global warming, indicating that there is potential for much more than just trade.
The Natandola communique, we've already concluded that with Fiji, and it covers a whole range of areas of cooperation in education, in pharmaceuticals, in trade, and so many others.
Kiribati has shown interest in 6,000 acres of land in Savu-Savu, a backup of sorts, with the impact of climate change constantly impeding everyday life. Roland Karoy, FBC News.
After the break, poor cane access roads cause problems for some farmers in the north.
How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Nimbula, methangu nimilote na isoro tumboa. Nama kia umena rua kina ona na veka vi moniti kina vaka rombuka. Rongo mena via sama kina viva ka baro takini ndreko malolo. Ena radio Fiji wana na wongani pia niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Fiji has chosen the outfit for Miss Fiji to wear at the Miss World pageant in Indonesia later this year. Out of 4 designs, the costume symbolizing Earth has been voted the winner by Fijians. Shireen Lata reports.
This is the dress that Miss Fiji Karin Absalban will feature in Jakarta, Indonesia. The man behind designing this costume, Asia Konrote, says with experience, he was able to come up with a costume that's not only suitable for a pageant, but also depicts Fiji.
I'm going to work in each and every detail, every crossover of the mangi-mangi will be done neatly.
Konrote says he has taken part in many design competitions over the last 8 years. But this is the first time he is designing for any international competition. Symbolizing Earth, this elegant dress will have massy black pearls, seashells and a trail of mangi-mangi.
There are many others that we could use, but I thought for this, having the masi and the mangi-mangi and designing it into an evening gown that has an element of pageantry, but at the same time showing our the roots and the treasures of Fiji.
70% of all text votes were in favor of this dress.
Preparations are going very well. Right now we're working on her 5-minute video. This will of course be about the impacts of climate change on Fiji. And then we're also working on her talent and the costume that will go with the talent.
The dress will be ready in the next 3 weeks. Shatin Lata, FBC News.
Cane lorry drivers in the Northern Division are frustrated with the bad state of cane access roads in many sectors. Although crushing is running smoothly at the Lambasa sugar mill, farmers are unable to supply cane on time. Ritika Pratap reports.
Farmers in Wengele, Vunivau and Welevu in Lambasa claim they are ready to harvest, and some have already done so, but poor cane access roads are causing problems. A little over $1 million was allocated for cane access road repairs this year.
This year, they said they will give $1,000, but only gave $500, and it is not enough to make the roads. It is so expensive to hire the tractor and bulldozer.
What was supposed to happen didn't happen. They gave us less money. If they said they were giving us $1,000, why did they deduct it and make it $500? It's not going to work like this.
Cane lorry operators have also shared similar sentiments, raising concerns on poor road conditions.
We had complaints in Kortari that about 1,500 tons of cane. The road is not made, they won't be harvesting cane this year.
The road is so bad that we can't bring loads, but we had to come. There is no FSC road, not even lights and a safe place for us to relieve ourselves.
The Sugarcane Growers Council, which is in charge of most repairs, says works are done in stages and those that need urgent repairs are being given priority. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The National Substance Abuse Advisory Council is racing against time to get the Volatile Substance Abuse Decree in place. The council wants to stop the sale of such items to children as soon as possible. Apisalami Doka reports.
The biggest problem Fiji's had in stopping glue sniffing and other substance abuse is that there was no law in place.
We examined the crimes decree, and especially when you look back at the penal code, there is no provision in the crimes decree on the penal code, provision of the law to enable the police to say prosecute or to take to task people who may be selling these substances, volatile substances, for example, glue, which are in fact illegal substances.
Ndriumbalavu adds that students are the most common users of such items and they don't even know the risk to their lives.
Effect on the body can result in such things as headaches, dizziness, nausea, and blurred vision. For benzene, this is something that is a common substance which has been abused for quite a long time. Death can result from exposure to very high levels of benzene.
Public consultations begins next month as the National Substance Abuse Advisory Council works on getting the Volatile Substance Abuse Decree implemented as soon as possible. Under the decree, paint thinner, benzene, glue, nail polish remover and other items on the list cannot be sold or supplied to minors. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
A certain giant has been catching people's attention in the capital city for the last few days. This inflatable statue was erected by the Seventh-day Adventist Church during its Bible teachings. The statue has turned many heads, and people have even been taking pictures with it. The idea behind this is to attract more people to the Este event at the Civic Centre in Suva.
It's in front of the Civic Centre so people can know that inside the Civic Centre you can learn about what it teaches and what it means, and that's why we're doing it.
The statue was erected last week and comes down on Sunday. And it's the start of yet another sports week, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Thank you, Jackie. Coming up after the break, Fiji FA looking at options after Tavua's massive 15-0 loss to Suva, and FRU clears the air on women's rugby. Stay with us.
Isambolo binaka, na dango wadi soni dalai, na makio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi, mai na tolu kina bitu, ena moni digina por rombuka, ena Mbula FM, na bandu ena serre.
सूरज की पहली किरण के साथ दिन की शुरुआत कीजिए। सुबह का मंगल प्रभात आपको शुभ हो। सुबह सुबह हो खुशियों का मेला, ना लोगों की परवाह ना दुनिया का झमेला, पंछियों का संगीत हो और मौसम अलबेला, मुबारक हो आपको ये खूबसूरत सवेरा। हर सोमवार से लेकर शुक्रवार तक सुबह 6 से लेकर 9 बजे तक शामिल रहें रेडियो फिजी 2 पर हम सफर में रविंद्र सिंह के साथ।
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Tavoa is under the spotlight after its 15-0 loss to Suba in the Fiji Sun GP Batteries National League match yesterday. As Indra Singh reports, the Fiji Football Association says there's a possibility of amalgamating the district.
A mother of a hiding which has got all involved thinking of how to improve and help an ailing Tavoa Football Association. Because once known as a champion team, signs are ominous that soon the district soccer could cease to exist.
As of Tavoa's performance and with the help of Fiji FA, it doesn't get improved and whatnot, we have got other options that we are looking at. Really, a surprise that Tavoa, put up such a bad performance and everything.
15-0 win has brought about smiles on the faces of the Suva officials, but for Fiji FA, they want to know what is wrong in the gold mine town.
If push comes to shove, we will look at amalgamating two districts somewhere and then making sure that there is a formidable district.
The man who is trying to keep the ball rolling in Tavoa says he just wants to get the side out of the doldrums.
For this player, some of the new players are coming up, some of the Tavoa college student and the Balata student. I want to groom them now. I tell them if you people want to represent Tavoa, you pay your own registration. They pay their own registration, $15.75 right now. Maybe some other player, we're gonna register them on Monday. Only the student for Balata High School and Tavoa College.
Mind you, the team has been former Fiji FACT and IDC champions, but surely those days are well and truly over. To keep the sport rolling in Tavoa, drastic measures need to be put in place and actions taken soon as possible. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the Mba football side will have to wait another week to try and retain its National League title. After leading in the match against Rewa yesterday, the men in black were eventually held to a 1-1 draw. Ba is in the lead on the points table and needs only a draw in its match against Lautoka on Friday to win the crown. The Fiji Women's Rugby Union is not defunct and is operating, according to the Fiji Rugby Union. FRU Chairman Philemoni Wangambada says the FWRU are in the process of sorting themselves out and they want this completed as soon as possible after the stellar performance in the Rugby World Cup. Shalvin Chand reports.
The Fiji Women's Rugby Union, which has been the center of recent controversies, is still very much in function.
No, it's not a defunct body. They are still active. They are reorganizing themselves and they've been holding meetings as well. They're looking at a review to their constitution, so it's a happening body.
FRU expects administrative changes as well once the constitution is in place.
That's the first step, to review their constitution, and it will feed off to the union and the structures that they would like to have in place.
According to the FWRU, they have been very much active, and this has been evident in their weekly club games.
Well, as far as our local competition is concerned and the local clubs, we're working together with the development office in FRU. There's quite a good relationship between us. So as far as local competition is concerned, we are having a weekly competition, and last week we went down for an exhibition in Lautoka.
FRU is hoping to expand women's rugby, especially with the sport now in the Olympics. FWRU is hoping that some confusion which exists between them and the national team management is over for the betterment of the game. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Fiji's top V1 women's paddler Pauline Benson finished 30th out of 57 at the Taito Regatta in Tahiti. In an excruciating 14-kilometer paddle yesterday, Benson labeled it the toughest race she's ever done in her 6 years of paddling. Finishing among the top 30 was not a bad result for an outside paddler taking on the world's best in their own waters. Benson's taken many positives from the race, which augurs well for her preparation for the Pacific Mini Games in Wallace and Futuna. The Suva-based Rebels volleyball team hopes to entice top clubs to the tournament this weekend. The Rebels have been the most successful club this year. They've won most of the major tournaments and are hoping this tournament will help them prepare for next season. Shelvin Chand reports.
The Rebels volleyball team is made up of players from the Suva suburb of Rewai, most unemployed. This tournament will help the team raise funds for future endeavors.
This is basically fundraising for our club. So we are looking to organize a awards night at the end of this year. So it'll be a bonus to our boys if this tournament we're going to achieve this tournament this weekend.
The Rebels management is hoping that top clubs come in to provide good competition for the Rewai boys.
That's what we are looking for. Teams around Rewai and Rewanga will be competing each other. Maybe Suva teams, in Makoi have already booked the place. I think the Drifters team too have already booked the places this Saturday.
The organizers are looking at a 24-team tournament and arrangements have been done in that order.
We have booked for four courts. There will be in Rewanga for 3 courts and one in Rewai, the Eagles Volleyball Association courts.
The tournament will be held this Saturday and organizers believe top clubs will come and try to dethrone the champs on their own turf. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
That was your Monday Night Sports. It's back to Jackie now for business.
The Financial Intelligence Unit received 579 suspicious transaction reports in 2012. The FIU's annual report for last year confirms that the majority of reports, 477, came from commercial banks, followed by currency exchange outlets and members of the public. This is actually a drop from more than 700 reports in 2011. The total value of these transactions stands at about $20 million. Our favorite weather lady joins us now. Jen, please tell us that it's going to get warmer.
Hi, Jackie. Good to have you back. Well, things do look warmer on the temperature front, but more on that in a second. First up, let's take a look at the map here. All that rain we had recently has eased up, and we're back to the usual fine weather in the west and cloudy conditions in Suva and Savasavu. Now for temperatures. We finally have some 30s on our chart today. The Hidden Paradise still has some chills in the air with 25 degrees, but it looks like Lautoka and Lambasa are heating up at 30 and 31 respectively. Tomorrow's weather sees basically the same conditions we had today in the same major centers. Now, have you ever been to Maui Bay in the Coral Coast? The name may not sound familiar, but I'm sure most of us have walked across this bridge at some point or another. Bill Rangio is the talented photographer responsible for the picture behind me. That's weather for this evening. Till the next photo, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The top stories once again. Auctions for the 4G spectrum began today with Vodafone, Digicel and Telecom Fiji bidding for 20 different lots. Nandi River diversion will see a 37-kilometer channel running from Saunaka village to Wailolo Beach, and Fijians vote for the Earth costume to feature at the Miss World pageant in Jakarta, Indonesia. Time for results from last week's FBC opinion poll question, and we asked, is Fiji emerging as an MSG leader? 74% answered yes. This week's question, given the problems with Tavua soccer, should Fiji FA combine Tavua soccer with Vatukola? Visit our FBC website www.fbc.com.fj to have your say. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That was your Monday night news. Until tomorrow, good night.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च FM। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।